Okay, now, the question is, what is your name?
Sophie
Sophie what?
Koz,
And how old are you?
10.
And what do you want to do when you grow up?
I just decided that I kind of want to be an astronaut and go to Mars. That's what I'm just thinking, because I've been hearing that there's life on Mars, and they're exploring, and there was a lot of mysteries, and I want to be part of the mystery too. When I watch myself on TV, is the microphone gonna work?
Yes, it's picking up your voice right now. What do you like most about yourself?
I'm funny.
Well, tell me what you did for Hanukkah.
On 8 days, they have Hanukkah. Just like 8 days on Passover. Passover just ended yesterday.
What's your favorite part of Hanukkah?
Eating some chocolate coins and having potato pancakes. Guess what I love them with? Blueberry dippy.
Ah, nice. 3 wishes. Anything you want.
The McDonald's.
Your first request of 3 wishes is to get a McDonald's Happy Meal?
Yeah. Stay home every day and don't have to go to school. Actually, my wish is every day at school we can do math.
Do you have an imaginary friend?
I pretend my sister is in my imagination. I think she's invisible in my dreams. And you know what? Since we don't have an extra room for her, she sleeps in the basement.
She sleeps in the basement?
Yeah.
This is your imaginary sister?
No, it's my real sister. But don't tell my mommy.
Oh, how old is she?
12 years old. Actually, she's not 12 years old. She's 2. Her name's Samantha. She's my little sister.
You don't have a 2-year-old sister.
I know. It's just my imagination.
When's the last time you cried?
The last time I cried when I was doing a book report and I was too scared to get up, so I started to cry. I'm just too scared. I have stage fright. It all happened when I was going into summer, right before I was going into kindergarten. We were supposed to make our own play. I decided to do the play, but then when I practiced the play, I did fine. I was actually a fairy. Seriously, I was actually a fairy. My name was Willow, a fairy, and I was performing in front of my mom, my brother. My dad was at a big giant meeting, and like 100 people, and everyone was announcing their names. But then when it was my turn, I was like, and I was starting to cry, and the play went on, and I was just crying on the stage, so they just put me backstage.
This is like an epic event, going to middle school.
The happiest part was meeting new friends, and probably the worst stuff would probably be coming home with a lot of homework or coming home just so stressed out.
Over
Like everything, because I kind of had a problem in the beginning of the year. I wouldn't go to class. I would just kind of stay in the office and just kind of sit there because I was just too nervous to even go. I have an anxiety problem. I don't know how I got it. No one knows how I got it. I got it in like 3rd grade, something like that.
What'd you learn about yourself this year?
I'm good at making new friends. I have a group of friends. We're trying to figure out like a group name for each other. We want to do one of those things where we take the initials of our first names and then combine them into like a word. S for Sophie, of course. A, B, M, J, P, N, and K. Which is hard because there's only one vowel.
How would you characterize your group of friends? Like, what group are you in school?
Crazy, fun, funny. Some of us are cool, like one of the cool kids. Some of us aren't.
Are you cool?
Kind of.
How old are you?
I am 13. I recently just had my bat mitzvah. The service didn't go well. I got really scared and started crying. and I didn't go up.
Were you disappointed in yourself?
Yeah, I beat myself up a little bit over it. But then I realized that it was fine, and I had a fun time since I had all my friends there, and the food was great.
Okay, what's out there that would be really fun for you to be?
I would love to be an author. Most of my stories are kind of based off other, like, either TV show series or stuff like that. I'm trying to figure out something that I can make from scratch. If you go into my bedroom, you'll see my massive bed that takes up like half of the room, so I can't put anything else in there besides a dresser, an end table, and a desk. But you'll also see on my desk, I have like a computer. So I have all these sticky notes hanging everywhere. I have a drawing tablet, a cheap one for $70, but it still works. I have all this like other random clutter on that desk. But you know, that's what gets me inspired.
That's awesome.
If I'm looking back at this tape, oh wow, Sophie had a huge obsession with Hamilton. I used to think that I could possibly pull off being some internet star, like a YouTube star, but I don't know. That's not really for me. I can sometimes get a little camera shy, depending on the situation, except I'm not really camera shy right now. But
You used to be crazy about fairies. Do you remember?
I like one of the jewel fairies, Sophie the Sapphire Fairy.
Is that because she's got the same name as you?
Yeah, and she looks just like me. I just love all the talents. There's Tinker, Light is my favorite. Did I say water already? Animal, fast flying, sewing, cooking, harvesting. Oh my gosh, they're my favorite. I don't like fairies anymore.
What?
It's because I'm in 4th grade now and I think I'm a little bit too old for them.
But you used to love fairies.
I kind of like them. They're just so cute and adorable.
If your life were a movie, which it is, what's your arc?
I was really happy, didn't care about anything, really laid back little girl. And then in 3rd grade, I don't know if I got diagnosed with an anxiety problem, and the world, it was like the world turned upside down for me.
What do you want to do when you grow up? You can do anything.
Oh, a famous entertainer in the performing arts. If I had the courage to, I have terrible stage fright.
What's the stage fright about?
I don't know, I just don't like it when people look at me. Public speaking's really hard for me.
Do you feel judged in middle school?
I think I used to, but now I more judge other kids than...
I'll judge them first.
Yeah, but I'm so much smarter and have so much more common sense than so many kids that judge kids like me at school, and I'm like, you're the one that should be judged, not me.
And what do you need to work on?
Not worrying so much.
And what do you think is eventually going to solve that? What's your plan? Do you still have hope it will be solved?
My anxiety?
Yeah.
It can't be cured, but it can go away.
Does that frustrate you?
No, it doesn't frustrate me at all, because I feel like it's kind of who I am. I don't know where I would be if the pandemic didn't happen. Because I've been at home for so long, I've just been able to just, find aspects of my personality that I want to pursue. More just I've taken, a closer look of the clothes that I wear and how I decorate my room and what I'm interested in and what I talk about and stuff like that. Not that what was before was wrong, just I've been able to change and adapt those things in a way where I feel so much more confident as a person.
What do you want to do when you grow up?
I have no clue.
What do you want to study?
Psychology and political science. With the election and with everything that's been going on this past year in terms of politics, I've gotten more and more interested in government, and I'm currently in U.S. history, so that and my history teacher has inspired me more. I have started my own club at school that fights anti-Semitism, and I recently joined our district-wide equity council
in terms of mental health and mental illness. We're going to propose to our district at calming rooms in our schools. They're going to say that if people are having anxiety attacks or a depressive episode or are feeling very overwhelmed, they have somewhere to go that's not the bathrooms or not the counseling office if they don't have a good relationship with their counselor.
How is your anxiety going?
I've had a little bit more anxiety this past year just because of COVID. Most of it surrounds boredom. The anxiety around boredom is more just like I'm wasting my time. I'm like a type of person that like wants to make sure I get memories, wants to make sure I like am actually being productive and actually using my time wisely. I've always been that type of person.
Ideally, I would want to do some sort of research, political research. Like, I'm like the only person I know who watches C-SPAN for fun. A couple of schools that I am actually looking at are in DC. Speaking of which, I have an American University SAC right here. This is one of the schools I'm actually looking at. 20% of the kids at my school are Jewish. At the college I'm going to, American. 20%, which is great.
How important is Judaism to you?
Top tier. It's the sense of being in a community and having each other's back. I did have some anxieties about the distance, but then when I went there in person over spring break, all the anxieties just melted away and I was like,
Describe each member of your family using one word.
My mom, optimistic.
And what do you admire about her?
I admire her confidence when she talks to other people, which is something I'm only getting into now. My dad, I guess like inspirational. It was more just he inspired me to be curious and to constantly want to learn.
One word for your brother.
He's determined. He acts in a way that would get him to where he wants to be.
And one word for Sophie.
Cute and pretty and I'm very playful and fun. Creative. I'm really good at drawing right now.
Awesome. The best.
Creative.
Some days I consider myself funny, some days I consider myself creative. Like, it just depends.
Currently, I'm just very hopeful.
I'm really trying to think of a really creative metaphor, but my brain is just not. I mean, I guess I could say curious.
Oh, I love that. And how do you want to change the world?
The first pop in my mind is accessibility. Just making things more accessible, especially mental health service.
Any final thoughts you want to say?
Enjoy life. You have so many more years ahead of you. You've only completed a small fraction of your life, and it's going to be so fun. So have a blast. Like, what's the point of being on this earth if you're not going to have fun while doing it? Like, statistically, the chances of life are like almost impossible. So you might as well appreciate it.